Simpsons
Sims.
rules. That's why you don't sell trash. That's why you need the Simpsons skin. That's why during the battle pass. That's why you're so broke. That's why you don't have any Simpsons skins.
That's why
you
so
need
That's why you have no
you so
money.
bad.
That's why you are not good at Fortnite.
Ooh. That's why you're so trash. That's
That's
why you don't have
exactly
any Simpsons skins. That's why you're so trash. That's why you don't know it. That's why
that,
your mama left you.
that's
That's
why
why
you
you don't
should
have
get
any
off
Fortnite
Fortnite.
skills.
You have no Fortnite skin or Fortnite silk. You just beg people for skin because you are a noob.
Yeah, that's why you beg people to use the skin. If you have them, like, make sure to tell mom that you have to break it.
That's why that.
That's why the Simpsons Bros is the best song we made. That's why he's so trash. That's why you need to use the Simpsons skins. That's why you need to use Homer because he's the best. Because he's the last one. Because he officially got his own skin and the Simpsons got its own skin. That's why you so
That's
trash.
why you should get some V-Bucks.
That's so.
That's
That's
why
why
you
you need the
should
band
tell your
hammer.
mom to get V-Bucks because you fly about. You can't get the Simpson skin because you want
That's
all
why
the
you so
Simpson skins.
trash. You so trash. You so
That,
trash.
that
You so
everyone can beat
trash.
you.
That's why you don't have any feedback. That's why you're so broke. That's why you don't know how to simulate it. That's why you need dark conventions for your life. That's why you don't know how to play Roblox simulated. That's why you're so trash. That's why you're so bad. That's why you're so trash.
That's why no one likes you. You're so
Trash.
bad at Fortnite.
You're so trash. That's why
You're
you're so
so trash.
trash. That's why you're so ugly. That's why you're so musty, crusty, musty, dusty. That's why you need to hold. That's why you need to call mommy to help you out. That's why you're so trash. That's why
That's
you're
why
so
you're so
broke.
dumb.
So broke. You so
That's
broke.
why you, no one wants you to play Fortnite.
That's why you so
Just get some
trash.
help.
I wasn't gonna kill you.
You need some mental health.
That's why you so trash. That's why you need the ban hammer. That's why you need more jump leaping. Ah!
That's why.
That's what.
That's why you should get the battle pass. And
That's
V-Bucks.
why you so trash. That's why you so trash. That's why you so trash. See this reset button? You better to click it so you can have no skins, just defaults. That's why you so
You suck so
trash.
bad.
That's why you so trash. Trash, trash, trash.
You can only eat vegetable and apples because your mom has no money to get battle pass or candy for you.
That okay, hope you guys enjoyed that song. Hope you loved it. And see you in the next song which is November 11th.
This is not real. We are just making a song. Bye guys.